The term diaspora describes a group of people scattered across regions away from their place of origin, yet who still identify deeply with that homeland. My name is Elise, and I am a part of the Japanese and Okinawan diaspora. Having grown up in Hawaii, I experienced what it means to feel connected to a place that I had never lived in, a place across the ocean. I appreciated Hawaii International Film Festival's spotlight on Japan, as well as their feature of Kanasando, which was an Okinawan film. In Hawaii, I grew up with a sense of cultural belonging, shared history, and collective memory that spans over 5 generations.
Yeah, I grew up in Pukalani, Maui. My auntie is here, who grew up in Wailuku, and her family. And Maui can be small town, and it's like any other small town, right? You see your bound. We actually did literally see our boundaries in the shoreline. And I think I would just say, I wasn't reading literature, I'll just say that. Let's just say I would go to the library in Kahului and check out like a stack of historical romances, about this high, and the same librarian would be like, okay. Excuse me. So I wasn't reading literature, but I was reading. And I think that the reading was kind of my airplane ticket off the island momentarily, because my background is such that, I'm a public school kid and proud attendee of Maui High School, and it wasn't guaranteed that I could actually, get to the mainland or
We are able to rediscover our cultural identities through the arts, especially through film.
Eriko Miyagawa, translators, a team of historians at this point. That's our starting point, is to just bring the tidal wave of history upon us and see if we can swim.
Producers and Team Shosa, who are movement advisors, about how the characters should sit in this time period, which is the Sengoku Jidai. Our historian, one of our main historians we used, was very adamant that Katahisa, the seating position for women.
You can do it.
Yeah, you're wearing pants, so you
Yeah,
can do it.
I will demonstrate.
It was kind of like this, with one leg up, that the women would sit this way, and because you look at paintings from the era, and that is in fact how women in the Sengoku Jidai, not the Edo period, but the Sengoku Jidai, were absolutely sitting. But there was, Hiro-san had some concerns because the tradition, the convention within Japanese jidaigeki at the time, less so with the taiga dramas, but especially with the kind of Kyoto style samurai soaps that were being done, was in the seizo position, which is, for women, I mean, they would sit like this. And we were struck with, like, one is historically accurate and the other is spiritually authentic, and I think the debate was really, it came down to, I said on the Zoom call with Hiro and Eriko, it's like, don't look at me, like they both look great to me. Like, at some point, I think that it has to be a decision about the actors and how everyone is comfortable sitting and what Japanese audiences would accept. And in that case, we made the decision to go with Seiza, which was not historically accurate for the way women would sit in that period, but it was authentic to the experience.
Many diasporic communities have found a home in Hawaii, bringing together culture, language, and tradition from around the world. For these communities, the Hawaii International Film Festival is a place where they can see their languages and stories brought to life on screen. Through these films, HIFF offers a powerful reminder that while we may be scattered, our voices and narratives remain strong.
And it is very specifically an experimental, exhaustive project for myself and my mother, and hopefully for the diasporic Vietnamese abroad, thinking about war, what remains, and memory.
Collaboration, you kind of explained the risk of storytelling. So especially when we were in Vietnam, a lot of the script was negotiated because there was a lot of things that she felt comfortable saying, right? Being raised under censorship. So it was a really, when it came to kind of those moments, we had to really in depth go through what her responsibilities or what was it that she was going to say to uphold the story, to kind of uphold the critique that we were keeping. And so in using Siskel and Ebert and framing it like film critique, I can then kind of deliberately say what it is that I want to say, right? Because I kind of made this movie as a culmination of a lot of my research, as a kind of like hurrah or like farewell to really always having to answer about war, right? And very specifically like the American War in Vietnam. In holding this like material accountable, right? A lot of the media and stuff that came out was very simply on the page. I didn't really need to interpret it. I just actually needed to embody it, to like bring all of those critiques to the front, or to bring the truth to what is being said and how deeply absurd, right, these realities are, these critiques were, right? Yeah.
Seeing our people, cultures, and languages represented on screen is deeply affirming. It reclaims space for cultural expression and allows us to hear and share the stories of our heritage. For diasporic communities, particularly those who may feel that their voices are marginalized, this experience at the Hawaii International Film Festival provides a sense of belonging and validation. International film festivals are bridges of cultural understanding, empowering diasporic communities through representation and shared stories. Stories from around the world empower diasporic communities to see themselves on screen, celebrate their heritage, and find strength in their collective identity. In doing so, they remind us all of the beauty in our differences and the unity that binds us together.